Hello and welcome to another edition of AttractWell Office Hours. I'm Coach Ashley, today joined by founder of AttractWell, Greg Kilwine. Hey, Greg.
Hello, everybody. We're so glad you're here today.
We're thrilled to have you here today. We're going to be talking about getting started with AttractWell. This call is for you. If you are brand new to AttractWell, if you're considering AttractWell, or even if you've maybe been with us for a while and you're wanting to make sure that you are making the most of your system and the time that you're spending and using and learning about it. So we're thrilled to have you here today. Again, welcome. If you are new here, this is a live call that we do every single Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern time, with the exception of days where we have a national holiday here in the US. So we have the opportunity here today to work with you. Obviously, we're going to be going over some general guidelines today, some best practices, but every business is a little different, has different needs. And of course, with AttractWell, we serve a fairly large range of folks with different types of business needs. So we definitely want to make sure that you know, if you're here on this live call today, that we are here to help you. So if you have specific questions that are coming up as we're kind of going through this, I want to encourage you to head into the Q&A and put those there, and we can make sure that we spend that time with you, either addressing your questions directly or even potentially getting into some visual stuff and talking through things together one-on-one. But what we're going to do first is I want to invite you guys to head over into the chat and say hello. Let us know where you're coming in from, what kind of business you have. We're always thrilled to meet you. By the way, if you would like to meet more of our community and get to know everyone a little better, we do have a Facebook group, and that is I believe, Greg, you've got the link for that. If you could pretty please, there we go. Greg, put that into the chat there, and we'll put it in the description on the YouTube channel as well. So again, super excited to have you guys here today. We're going to go ahead and pop out a video so you guys can get a great view of our slides that we've put together for you. We're going to go through those, and then we are going to chat. We're going to really get into this together and make sure that you are clear on what your best next steps will be in getting started with AttractWell. So this is where to start with AttractWell. So what we'll talk about today are the simplest and most impactful approaches that you can use to get started with us, and how you can maximize your time and avoid overwhelm. And finally, we're going to talk about how we can create a solid game plan to get the most out of your system. And guys, if you're here today and you have questions at that point, we have as much time as we can, we'll spend with you to help make sure you know where to look first and what to do next. And then of course, we do have that live help and Q&A. So if you are here today looking for help that has nothing to do with these things, we're also here for you to help you with that as well, because this is a live work session. So make sure if you haven't done so already, it looks like we've got some fabulous people in the comments here and in our chat here on the live call telling us about their business. So go ahead and add yours here to the list if you haven't already. And if you have questions for this call, we do have a Q&A here on Zoom. So the chat is fabulous. We love communicating there. But for me, and especially if there's something that I need to answer, it's a little hard for me to read through everything without slowing down the call for folks. So make sure that you add those to the Q&A so we could get those to you quickly and easily. And of course, if you would like to, on a future call, set aside time to work together. You can go to attractwell.com/work review. And if you do that, you can give us a heads up on what it is that you're looking for help on. And we can spend as much as half a call in content, working on what it is that you are prioritizing and what it is that you're wanting to get figured out. We can work together. And then of course, if you watch this as a replay, you can go to attractwell.com/office hours to be on the list to join this call that we offer for free for anyone who is a coach, a consultant, a creator, anyone who sells their information online, serves people, and wants to utilize tools in a smart way to grow. This is a call for you. So you can go to attractwell.com/office hours and join us live every Thursday. So for folks who are here, maybe put the comment here in the chat. Are you new to AttractWell? Let me know in the chat. Say, I'm new. Let us know that you're new if you are. We are so excited to have you here. Awesome. What's up, you guys? We got a bunch of new folks. All right. So for those of us who are new, or maybe for folks who've been around for a while, what made you decide to get started? What made you decide to get started with AttractWell? Jaleesa, this is no, this is really for everybody. If you haven't signed up yet, this could certainly be, for some of us, we kind of want to like plan ahead before we take our first step. And if that's you, then this call will help you do that. But yeah, this is for everybody. So we're excited to have you here today, and I hope that this helps you to get the ball rolling, no matter where you are in this process. So if you have not answered this one yet, go ahead and put that in the comment. We're excited to hear more about what you're really looking to get out of working with us. And so maybe to get that even more specific, what's the number one thing that you want to get out of using AttractWell? Oh, Jaleesa, you're more than welcome to invite someone. Absolutely. The more the merrier. Awesome. Monet. Okay, Monet wants more clients. Yep. Number one thing, more clients. Absolutely. I've seen, trying to manage things, trying to cut down on all the different platforms. Yep. Yeah, that is a pretty solid reason I want to get more clients, right? Awesome. So now let's get into kind of, there's a fairly simple designation that I've made here, just in the interest of trying to serve everyone in a general sense. And of course, keeping the floor open for us to work with you in a more pointed way on this call. So you are probably going to fit, most of us are going to fit into one of these two categories, right? And you might even be a number two and also be a number one. We'll see. So some of us might maybe be both, but we're typically either one or two. All right, so number one. Let me know which one is you, or you just remember which one is you. It's up to you. Number one, I'm just starting out with a new business, or I have a business and it's a new offer. And you might say something like, my business could double next week and I would be ready and thrilled, right? If I could get double what I got right now, I would be over the moon and absolutely ready and here for it. That's number one. Maybe you're a number two though. You have an established business, but you need leverage. Maybe you're stuck in a time for money exchange. Maybe you've hit a plateau in your business. You're maybe at or nearing capacity, but maybe you don't have enough hours in the day to serve your clients and also move things ahead in your business, right? I think a lot of us are going to be one, right? But I want to make sure that you all know that, if you're at a two, that's definitely something that we help with as well. And it's something that you could find yourself in this position if we don't make the right choices early on in our business, right? Because what you start with is what grows, what you feed is what grows, right? So it is important to have the right systems in place regardless. All right, so we're either a one or a two, but regardless of which one you personally identify with, the most important thing we've got to get worked out is how to serve the business you have. Now, we all very likely have a fantastic vision of the business we want, but where we have to start to get the most out of this, to stay out of overwhelm, to keep you from watching 17 hours of webinars a week, we got to start with just the practicals. What do we have? What are we working with? Start from there. We all start out as babies, right? Needing to be fed and then learning to crawl and then learning to walk before learning to run. And maybe we never all learn to do backflips, but we learn how to do some kind of special dance that is our own, right? We don't just wake up one day brand new born and start dancing, right? That's something we work our way up to. So we have to recognize where we are, honor that, and serve that first, okay? So the business you have right now is your clients that you have right now and what you're selling right now, right? So when I'm talking about the business you have, it is literally who has paid you money or, right? Because if you don't have any clients yet, it's also fine. What is the thing you're going to be selling, right? Or currently working on selling. The business you have is who's paying you, what are they paying you for? And that's it. There are so many bajillion bells and whistles you can put onto this, but this is the nuts and bolts of it, right? So first we have to know, what do we have, right? This, by the way, this is how we address overwhelm before it ever happens. We can prevent overwhelm. We can eliminate overwhelm if we have it, if we can first just focus on what is, okay? So the business you have has real needs, and those are things that require your focus and your time. Now, the business you want, those are wants, right? And just like you really want to have dessert as a kid before you eat, but you got to have your vegetables first, right? We got to take care of our needs before our wants. And if we want to avoid overwhelm when we're implementing technology in our business, we have to first address and acknowledge the business we have, even if it's an itty bitty baby. We got to make sure that we know what its needs are and get those needs taken care of before we start focusing on other stuff, right? So, what I want to encourage you to do, use a journal for this, right? Or a notes app or something like that. Keep a running list of your wants and then break those wants into steps of projects, right? That way you can, over time, because in the beginning with AttractWell, you're going to have to learn how to deal with the needs of your business first, right? You don't drop everything because you got a new project, right? You're going to go broke in your business, right? So as we're learning to deal with our needs, we can start to build muscle memory and knowledge and understanding of the things that we need to do on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, and so on. But then we can start to add those little steps in from the projects that we know we want to complete in with the needs so that we're not overwhelming ourselves, right? So know what you want. And please don't buy every info product and watch every webinar that teaches how to get those wants. Because if you're not ready to take action on whatever that stuff is teaching, you're wasting your time, right? Keep a list of your wants. And when you're ready, chances are we're going to have a training that's ready to help you when you're ready, right? And we're not going to dangle some kind of artificial, scarcity of time. We're here to help you succeed, and we're here to share the information you need to do it, right? So make sure that your wants are addressed by listing them off and acknowledging them as wants, right? And then take the top priority one, break it down into its constituent steps. If you need help learning what those steps are as they pertain to AttractWell, we are more than thrilled to help you outline those on a call just like this one, okay? But first, separate the want from the need, okay? All right, so the first thing we want to make sure we're doing, of course, is to start by serving the business you have. So the first way that we look at this is, how are you currently serving your clients? So maybe let us know in the chat here. How are you serving your clients? Are you, are you meeting with them one-on-one? Are you selling access to information such as recordings of video, maybe in a course format? What does serving your clients look like for you? Do you do work for them? Is it a time for money exchange? Which is great. It's a fabulous way to work. So we've got one-on-one, awesome. Anybody else want to chime in? Mark, by wants, do you mean pieces of our business? So Mark, by wants, I mean, let's just say, for instance, you currently serve clients one-on-one and you have a system for how you serve them one-on-one, even if it's from your certification and you've got to go over these 5 steps with them over a series of 12 calls, right? That's the business you have. How many clients do you have? That's your business. That 5-step 12 call thing, that's what you're selling, right? That is the business that is. If you have those things and you know that you'd eventually like to have a membership program and a course and 5 new pages on your website, those are wants, right? For the business that you have right now, having the people that have already paid you, right? And the thing that you are selling to new people, so your business stays viable and you're making money, those are the business that is, right? So that's what I mean by those are the needs, right? The wants would be, I want to have a membership, right? That's something that you move toward, right? It's not what is right now. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so the first question is how are you currently serving your clients that have already paid you, right? Now, what I want to encourage you to do first is look at your existing, and again, this is for those of you who are getting started with AttractWell or looking to get started with AttractWell. The first thing that you're going to want to do is take care of the people that you've already got, right? So you're going to want to transition your communication systems, your booking processes over to AttractWell first, right? So if you've got emails that you send out that have certain pieces of information that you send to clients at different stages of your work together, you're going to want to move those into AttractWell and create saved replies, for instance. If you are allowing clients to book time on your calendar, then you could create pages and systems, which of course we teach on our YouTube channel, specific ways to get these things done. Set that up so that that's in your AttractWell system. right? So transition how you're communicating with and serving your clients into AttractWell first. And if you are currently, again, we're talking about the business you have. If this is not you, don't worry about that. If you currently are using videos or course style formats to serve your clients, so if you're using a Teachable or a Kajabi, or maybe you've just got hidden videos in YouTube, whatever that might be, we have a course called How to Build Your Online Course that'll help you in manageable, well-organized process, move your program or whatever this course style format that you might have for how you're currently serving your clients right now. If this is you, we have a course that teaches you how to DIY moving that over to us. Our team can also do it for you, right? So you can go to attractwell.com/VA and we can help you. We can quote you and our team can help move over the stuff that you have from where you might already have it. Okay. Moving on from here, this goes for everybody. If you're a number one or a number two on that list, you got to begin by mastering the contact manager for your one-on-one communication with folks. Okay. This is really the center of the AttractWell system is your contact manager, because we serve people who serve people, right? So your business is your people and how you go about serving those people, right? So we need to know how to keep in touch with in an organized way, and to keep notes on and categorize and all of that for our people. So the contact manager is where I want you to start. So make sure that you upload, excuse me, if you haven't done this already, upload your contacts from your existing contact manager if you have one. So if you're using, and I really don't know the names of many at all, I think HubSpot has a free one. A lot of folks weren't even using contact managers before getting started with us. So if this is brand new to you and you've just been using your DMs and your email inbox, welcome. This is a great place to start, right? But if you're using an existing contact manager, you can export as a CSV file your existing contacts and their information and pull them into your AttractWell account. Then, of course, you're going to want to keep notes of your communications. Give yourself to-dos so that you're following up when you need to, right? And then use follow-up plans if you have established systems. So if you, for instance, have a system that you follow when someone has requested a quote from you, then you can make that list of things that you have to do in that process. So someone can be, completed through that phase of your business. And then, of course, you can utilize those in our system, essentially creating your own custom pipeline that you can easily keep your contacts moving through. Now, if you're moving over from other platforms, you're certainly very likely not moving over from a single platform. If you're doing one or more of any of the things that AttractWell is capable of, there's a chance you probably subscribe to 7 different things, right? So if you're moving over from different platforms, first remember that we've got to deal with the business that is. So if you've got folks that have already paid you, that you're already serving, make sure that you've got them taken care of first. Now, if your priority is to reduce your overhead and to not duplicate paying for 2 services at the same time, then what I would encourage you to do is whatever the functions you were using that previous platform for, recreate that function in AttractWell, right? And then serve the people that you are working with currently, because the businesses that you have is the most important thing you need to focus on first, right? So make sure that that is handled first, and then you start moving on to the other pieces. So if you have a website somewhere else, make sure that you in AttractWell replicate your page content, your blog posts, your course content in AttractWell before you disconnect your domain name from the existing place and move it over to us. That way it's seamless. People go to your website and they still have a website experience. If you move your domain name over too early, then you're going to potentially lose some of that content. It's certainly not going to be visible for people anymore on the previous platform. And of course, our team can help you with this. AttractWell.com/VA, request a quote. They're super reasonable and absolutely extraordinarily creative, helpful people that know how to get this done for you. So 100% make sure that you reach out if you would like some help with this. All right. So now let's talk about how we can game plan getting this done. And then of course, we want to make sure that we chat with you about what your business's specific needs are so that we can get really clear on where you go first and then next. So if you fall into that number one category that we talked about, where if your business doubled next week, you'd be thrilled and ready. Do you have a deliverable offer that's ready to sell? If you have a coaching or service-based business, chances are your answer to this is yes, right? Right? So if you have a deliverable offer that's ready to sell, then what we have to ask next is what that is an exchange of time for money. So is it one coaching call, 7 coaching calls, or is it something leveraged where maybe they purchase a package with you, but that includes group coaching sessions and recordings and downloads and maybe also calls with you. So is it an exchange, a direct exchange? I'm coaching you, we meet at these times, you're paying me hourly, or is it a program, something that's more leveraged? And do you have a tool available to sell it? And by a tool available to sell it, I don't mean some kind of super clever, tripwire 27-step funnel. I am literally talking about, do you have a place where somebody can go and put in their information, know what they're purchasing, and make the purchase? Very simple, right? And then finally, do we have tools in place to onboard and serve that new client? How are we welcoming them? How are we showing them how to get the most out of this? How are we gaining from them the information that we need? If we're doing coaching, maybe we have an intake, an agreement, something like that. What do we have or what do we need to accomplish getting that thing done, right? And then for these tools, where are they stored and how are they sent? Okay, these are needs. We need an offer that we can sell. We need to know how it's set up so that we can make sure that everybody who pays for it gets it correctly, right? We need a place where people can buy it. And then we need to have resources that don't require us to be present 24/7 to make sure people are directed to the thing that they bought. Make sense? All right, so if you're a number one, your top priorities in AttractWell are going to be getting your deliverable made and available to be delivered, right? So you can deliver this in a vault. So let's just say, for instance, you followed our Coursify Your Coaching training that we have on our YouTube channel, and you have created a system where you work with clients on one-on-one calls, but in between those calls, maybe they watch some videos, maybe they download some stuff, complete some homework, whatever that might be. In which case you're going to create a vault with an online class, maybe there's a discussion room in there. It really depends on the design of your program or your offer. How to build your online course, which you should have access to. That is where you're going to learn how to create that deliverable. Now, you may have a campaign. Instead, your deliverable may be a series of emails and opportunity to book with you, in which case you would create a campaign deliverable via email or text. If somebody is booking time with you, then you're going to want to have a page in AttractWell where you embed your booking form from a place like Calendly or Acuity and so on. Next priority is a sales tool. Again, this is where we're not talking about super high-tech crazy stuff. We're literally talking about here's what you're buying and here's how to buy it, right? Really simple and straightforward. So what that can look like, excuse me, if you have a vault and your deliverable is inside of a vault, so maybe that's a program or a course, then there is a checkout page. And if you're using How to Build Your Online Course, we show you exactly how to get that set up the way that you want it. So that would accomplish your sales tool. If you are selling something that's not delivered in a vault, then you just simply need a sales page. And we have a training for this on our YouTube channel, including a done for you template that you can use. Then we need our tools for onboarding and serving our client. That again, if it's in a vault, then those things are probably already there. Vaults are a great leveraged way to get this done. Maybe your campaign would be a series of emails that welcomes them, congratulates them on making a decision to work with you, and then tells them to hit reply and attach an agreement that they've signed or something to that effect, right? You would want to create a campaign for that purpose so that you can make sure that every time somebody gets started with you, they automatically get exactly the information that they need right away, so that the only next thing you have to worry about is when they show up on that call that they've booked with you because they already received the link. They pay, they get all the information, you just hop on calls, right? That's what you want to start creating as a system for yourself. That's our priority here. And then for your internal use, follow-up plans are a fantastic feature inside of AttractWell. If you work with clients the same way every time, you probably have your own internal sort of system or checklist that you want to make sure that that person is following through to completion with you. And so there are things you probably want to do and be on top of throughout the process. And your follow-up plans allow you to always have a snapshot of what that is for that particular client or the set of clients that you're working with. All right, now if you're a number two, if you are at a place where you have come close to, or recognize yourself as coming close to reaching a time for money plateau in your business and you need leverage, first, what you want to ask yourself is, do I have a clearly defined and leveraged means of serving my clients? Am I all over the place in how I serve my clients? Can I streamline how I serve my clients a little more effectively so that it might take me a little less time to get the same results with them? Do I have a clearly defined and leveraged onboarding process so that I don't have to be there to hold hands with every single person for every single step? Do I have ways for clients to self-serve and self-educate as much as possible? This is especially important for coaches. Coaches tend to spend at least 50% of time with clients teaching. What if your video is taught and you coached on calls? And then do you have, and if you've answered no to these three questions, then you should answer yes to the fourth one. Do you have plans to create leverage products or programs, right? So if you are reaching a time for money exchange capacity, it's going to become important that you have something that you can sell that you don't have to be present to deliver, right? So if this is you, your top priorities in AttractWell are going to be around content delivery for clients. So serving the people you already have. This can be, like I just mentioned, and this is in the Coursify, your coaching training that we have on our YouTube channel for free. This is where you break down your process of serving clients, identify the places where you have bottlenecks of time, where you are spending time doing things, saying things, teaching things usually, that you could be teaching or sharing before the call in video format, not only with that client, but with every other client that follows. Same for campaigns, sending out messages in order, in sequence, getting information out that needs to go out without you having to go and manually set up and write that email every single time you get a new client or a client reaches a certain stage in your process. Same for onboarding, vaults, and campaigns. Having a leveraged resource that walks people through, ideally with video, what they need to do first, and then next is going to free your time up so that you can just focus on more time coaching, right? If you're coaching, or more time getting the result for your client. And again, campaigns are just like little robots that show up at the right intervals when you need them to, as you, for your clients. And then, do you have ways for clients to self-serve? If you don't, vaults. Having a vault, which is basically inside, we have a member area with AttractWell, so you can have a member area for your website. Member areas can hold vaults. They're a container with one sized hole, and you can put that square size vault hole peg into that hole, right? So you can have vaults inside of a member area. And then inside of your vaults, you can have memberships, you can have courses, you can have programs, you can have free communities, lots of different options there. But in this particular case, you would want to create a vault with an online class that has these educational resources, sequences, whatever the information that might be that would be supportive to the client, so they don't need you one-on-one as much, right? And then finally, if you want to create leverage products or programs, you got to make vaults. You got to create a program, a membership, a course, whatever it might be, and you can achieve that. And again, that's in our How to Build Your Online course. I know that it is about online courses, but I do talk about memberships, monthly, annual billing, things like that inside of that course. So make sure that you check that out if that is where you are and you're ready to take that step. So every business is different, of course. We're going to talk about yours, get into some coaching, life help, and Q&A. And one thing, I don't know that I've necessarily stressed this as much as it needs to be stressed. It is very easy as people who are, expansion minded and focused on growing ourselves and growing our businesses and being of higher value to the people that we want to serve. It's really, really important that you give yourself the space and honor your time so that you can say no. Right? You've got so many opportunities, including and maybe even especially with us. Like if you go to our YouTube channel right now, there's so much that you could learn. But I want to implore you to please don't try to learn everything. Learn how to do something that you need to do next and then build from there. Right? The information is going to be there and ready for you when it's time for you, when your business needs you to create that online class, right? You don't need to, if you're not literally ready to start filming videos and putting something together to sell inside of an online course format, don't start the course yet, right? Make sure that you are only consuming information that you are ready to take action on. Okay, so enough of that soapbox. Let's talk. You guys got lots of great questions here. So Nefteria, I'm new to AttractWell. Is it possible to use my template from Canva and how do I upload them? So where Canva integrates with AttractWell is just with the use of images. So if you created, if you've got templates in Canva that you use for images, you can, of course, create whatever content that you want in image format on Canva and bring that into your AttractWell account. So some examples of how we use Canva frequently might be section backgrounds on pages, having like a nice image or video background, creating GIFs if you want little animated images, or having sort of individual images. And I can actually show you a quick example of where Canva has been integrated here on Jane's site. And actually everywhere that you see an image on this page, it was made in Canva. So this logo was made in Canva. This image was made in Canva. These flowers in the background here, that's Canva. These are all Canva. So all of the images that you see here were actually created in Canva. So in terms of templates in Canva, you are able to use them. And actually, if you we do have an integration if you wanted to swap out an image with one from Canva. I'll just go over here real quick and I'll show you. There's a little Canva button. So here's an image. And if I wanted to swap this image out, I can just click it, click replace. And then there's this add design from Canva button. And if we click that, we give it a size. So in this case, we'd say logo because I want something square. You can also give a custom size as well. We'll go to open Canva. Of course, you have to read and allow the cookie. And then once you've got that done, and I'm not signed in here, you can actually go and pick from your existing designs even if you wanted to. I hope that answers your question effectively. See, I've got that one answered. Okay, has there been thoughts of having a way to sign documents with AttractWell like DocHub? So we don't have that functionality specifically, but I did go over ways to manage contracts in a recent office hours training, and that is going to be managing client contracts and agreements. So that's right over here. So if we just type in, I believe, the word contract on our YouTube channel, here we go. I've got 3 or 4 different ways you can do this. If you need an actual, sort of virtual version of a wedding signature, then, there are only a couple of platforms that really accommodate that kind of thing. And so you could certainly use that. But I do go through a lot of different options that you can use if you're trying to keep things simple and not use yet another platform, right?
Yeah, because you can use our forms feature. Some people are using it for that, depending on the strength of the legalities or whatever that you're looking for. You can use the form or the page builder with the built-in form that can have maybe like their name there. They type in their name instead of a signature and then check a box that says, yes, I agree, and then they can submit it there. So some people have been doing that, but if you want the one with like a pre-filled PDF and whatever, that would be at least a different tool right now. But anyway, I'm sure, Ashley, you cover that in those videos or in that video.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we did for sure. All right, so Cici, the vault is, I'll actually show you an example of this. So a vault is basically, it's a container. Our member area has, here, let's go to, I think, let me just go to attractwell.com/members. Because this, if you have access to our courses, then this is where you're also going to log in and get in there. So let me see if I've got this right. Yes. Okay, perfect. So this is a member area, this whole thing that we're looking at here. These three guys that you see here, these are vaults. These three are set up as online courses. They were originally launched as programs, but they're courses now. And so these are vaults. And inside of a vault, you can find things like discussion rooms, pages, and online classes. And so this is like what an online class looks like. And in these, you can have things like video, discussion, you can have downloads, you can require homework, all kinds of cool stuff. So that is what Vault is. Should we have Google Workspace to store tools like coaching, contract, and intake form? You can actually, so if you're fine with, I would definitely encourage you to watch the contracts training that I was just talking about. If you have a system for delivering, and if you have a system for delivering that contract for them to sign, however they sign it through AttractWell, you can actually store that as a PDF in our system, and you don't need to keep Google for that. And then for intake forms, we actually have training on our YouTube channel as well on creating forms using pages. And so you can actually use, here, let me see if I've got an example for you. I'm not sure which one of these would be in Jane's account, but you know what? Hang on a second. I can find this real quick. And I'll show you what that looks like. So you can use pages on AttractWell for intake forms. I'm gonna find this real quick and share it with you. Okay, here we go. So this is going to be an example for like a business coach. This would be a great example for you, but it's going to be really similar for your private clients as well. So let me get into sharing and show this to you. Okay, so oops. So this is, you can put the information on the page. The form can show up on the page itself, but you can also have a button show up here. In this case, we take name, email. You can have long form, required, not required, short form. You can have radio buttons. You can have multiple choice. And then, of course, you can have your system as well tag them with whatever tag you want to add or apply campaigns. There's lots of different fun automations that you can use with these forms. So for client intakes where you're retrieving information, this is a great way to do that. If you're using a vault, you could also use like a more traditional sort of, fillable PDF form intake where they type something out and then they submit it. And if you go to, we have a training on onboarding. If you search onboarding on our YouTube channel, I go through several really solid options for that as well. So the short answer is no, you don't really have to have Google Workspace to do that if you have AttractWell, because all of those are functions that our system is more than capable of handling for you. Tsitsi, can I bring my own course into AttractWell? Yes, absolutely. Yes. So use the How to Build Your Online course to plan out how you bring that over. And of course, if you want support from our team in doing that, feel free to reach out. They can either do it for you or sit down with you and give you some advice, whatever that might be that you need, just reach out and we can see how we can help you with that. But yeah, that's what a lot of folks will tend to do. Maybe you started off somewhere, on another platform that you might have heard of first, and then you started looking around and realizing that they were charging you a lot of money and you still had to use like 17 other things to make it all work. And then you found AttractWell. So yeah, so a lot of folks will come to us with courses that are pre-made that you just want to bring over. And the How to Build Your Online course really does kind of show you the translation of like, if it's over here, it's going to look like this here, so that you have a clear idea of what that'll look like here in a manageable way. Abigail says, in terms of moving website over to AttractWell, what's the best template to use? And is there a template or recommendation for adding packages and pricing? Yeah, so specifically for the homepage, we have several templates for that. If you go to our YouTube channel, gonna keep referencing that because we've got loads of content there for you. There's several, come back over here. I'm gonna type in template and I'm pretty sure, so here's free website templates. There's a sales page template. Yeah, so there's 5 must-have templates for coach websites. So all of these actually have templates that you can use. Plus, we have them in the system. You don't just have to go get a resource bundle from a YouTube video. The benefit of the YouTube video situation there is that I am kind of giving you the strategy for the page and sort of what copy goes where and why. But you don't have to have that. You can simply go create page, and then we have lots of different types of page templates, right? So this is very similar to the one that I've already shared with you as an example on Jane's site. And then of course, there's lots of other pages here that you could choose from for different functions. I would definitely recommend that you go over here and type in sales. And then you can grab our sales page template right here. And you can use that for packages. You can use that for a single program, whatever it is that you want to use it for. And you can shorten it as well. It's, really make it your own. Is it possible to use my templates? Okay, I think we got that one already. Posted in chat, not the Q&A. I've created several pages, but how do I tie them together? So Carrie, it depends. So the way that you would tie them together is going to depend on what the pages are. Actually, could you share, Carrie, what the nature of the pages are that you're wanting to kind of have connected? Because if we're trying to get someone to go from one place to another, so let's just say, for instance, they're on your homepage and you've got a little blurb there that's about you, but you just don't want to have everything on your homepage be about you, then you could have a link there that goes to your About Me page, right? And then, of course, maybe you would also want to have about in your menu. So let me make sure I'm logged into the right account here, and then I'll actually show you how this works on the front and back end. And it's pretty straightforward. First thing we're going to do is actually address the links on the pages themselves. So first, let's just take a look here as an example. This is the Jane website, right? So here's Jane. And in this case, we want to send this to, when somebody clicks here, we want them to go to her About Me page. Now, this isn't correctly linked right now, unfortunately, but let's go and fix that. So I'm going to type in home because I know it's called home, so I can quickly find that page. And I think it's this one. I'm not sure. We have a few of these. Okay, this is a little bit different. So this is a version of it. So let's just say, for instance, I want to send someone to my About Me page if they've landed right here. We're just going to link the button. So we're going to find a page from this list. And I don't think Jane actually has a home page. So I'm just going to put this my favorite things here. So just as an example. So now this says About Jane. So we'll save that. And then when we look at it, when people are on this page, obviously, if they click here, they're going to learn how to join the challenge. Obviously, the main call to action is the main call to action. We want them to take action on this page as much as possible. But if they wanted to dive down a rabbit hole, they could go right here. And now they go to that next page, which again, of course, in this case, is my favorite things page because we don't have an About for Jane. So you would link it in a button. You could link it in a link. And then finally, and this also answers your question, Tsitsi, if you want to have that link also in your menu, then you just go right over here to menu. And we can see our existing menu. This says home, blog, learn, and contact. Let's add an about. So I'm going to add a menu. And this is going to be about. And we'll pretend like this is an about page. I'm going to copy the link right here. And I'm going to pop it right there. And I'm going to call it I'm sorry, about. Yeah, I'm just going to call it about. The header style is a link. We're going to save that. Oh, and we also need to move that up. There we go. So it's going to be home, about, blog, learn, and then contact. So let me save this one more time. And then when we come over here and view one of the pages, you can actually see that About is now up here, and it links to the page, well, to this one that we're pretending is an About page. We can send them over to the blog here as well. And then of course, you know, lots of great information here. Okay. I hope that that helps. All right, Jen says, I currently have a domain with Google Domains, no website yet. Can the email address that's included with AttractWell be my first name at domain.com? Yes, absolutely. Yep, 100%. Great questions, you guys. If you guys have more, and actually, if you are here right now and you would like to chat through where things are for you, if you're trying to figure out what goes next and you feel like you need a little more help than we have gone over so far in our slides today, I want to invite you, just maybe pop your hand up and we can talk through what's next for you. Awesome. Real quick, Damar says, I'm new to AttractWell, have been a business coach for about 2 years. I have a website and would like to port it over to AttractWell and redesign for coaching. Do you have any recommendations for 3 videos to learn and templates? So what I would do, if you're wanting to redesign your page, then what I would actually recommend that you do is to go to, let me go back to our YouTube channel and I'll show you. There is a homepage, a website. I'm typing website here. Type in the word website. There we go. Website templates and training for coaches. Let me see. Really any of these where we're talking about a website are going to be a great place to start. I would actually, this is a more recent one. So this one that says free website templates and training for coaches. This is going to be the most comprehensive for you because it's going to list the different pages and trainings that might go with it, right? So we'll have the home page that has its own training, its own templates. The sales page has its own training, its own templates, and so on. So I would actually start with this one right here. And that's going to be, if you type in the word website, it's called Create a Custom Homepage That Grows Your Business. So I would start right there, Tamar. And then of course, as you're working through it, we're happy to hop on with you on a call just like this one to give you any insights as you are making that progress. All right, Jen, you got your hand up. Let's bring you out to chat. Hi.
Hello.
Hey, how can we help?
Well, I am brand new to AttractWell, and I have had a bit of a failure to launch for wellness coaching for several years because of the tech. Not failure to launch. I just connect with people, word of mouth, very manual. I don't have any automations. I'm not using any platforms. So everything I'm doing is from scratch. So am I right to understand that starting with the CRM is the place to go to start building an audience? And then given that I don't use an email platform at this time, and I just email people out of my inbox, do I need to create a campaign to have them opt into an email list? Like, I don't even know where to start.
Yeah, got you. So I would keep it as simple and logical as possible. So if you are typically sending emails from your regular inbox and your outreach and your communications, connect your email to AttractWell so that you've got record of what's been sent, so that you can see if they've opened, so that you can, always have a clear whole picture of where things are at in your conversation. And then of course, the other activity that would either proceed or go alongside that would be creating new contacts for those people that you are in touch with. And then as you're adding new people that you're in touch with, creating those new contacts for them. You don't need to have a campaign. Not at first anyway. Campaigns are a great way to send an automated message out after something happens. So if you have a sales page, which I assume you don't right now, so don't worry about it. A campaign would be something that says, hey, I'm so glad you did this for yourself. Here's what you can expect next. And it could be a single email, right?
Mhm.
You don't have to do that. You could have a saved reply where I would start for you is to upload or create new contacts for the people that you are managing communications with already. So you've got a clearer picture, and then make sure your email is connected through AttractWell. You're still going to receive replies as you normally receive replies, but you're going to be sending out from your system so that you've got record of when you sent what and to whom. And then you can utilize things like saved replies, which are like canned responses or even sections of emails where you can drop in different things that you might repeat yourself on, on a regular basis. So I would just focus on those things. In terms of your following and building a following, the next step in that process is going to be, once you've got your what is, right? So if you are at a stage right now where you're not actively serving clients and you're just looking to establish yourself, streamline your prospecting activity and all that kind of stuff in the direction of service, what I would do is obviously those things that I first mentioned, but then the next focus would be, let me put up a simple website that has some kind of lead generating offer on it. And that way you can start to, as you're putting yourself out there, you can start to differentiate how you're showing up from everybody else who just happens to be somebody that's a wellness coach on social media, right? And then of course that's how you start building the list. And if you're following any of the trainings that we have on creating a lead generating funnel, which again, don't start there, start with what is. And for you, what is right now is you are managing, like your contact manager is probably your DMs and your inbox, and everything else is kind of stuffed in your brain. So your what is your relationship building. And so I would just focus on moving that into AttractWell first, with the next order of business being, all right, now let me brand myself with something that I can grab emails with, because that then becomes the list that you're building long-term. Does that make sense?
It does.
Hey.
It does. Can I ask two quick questions?
Sure. Yeah, go for
related
it.
to that?
Yeah.
If I'm bringing people from my contacts into AttractWell, do I need to have some sort of opt-in for them?
So if you're adding people to AttractWell and you're just going to be communicating with them one-on-one, this is a manual process. No. Because those are one-on-one communications. If you're going to be applying email marketing automations, if you're going to be sending a broadcast out to many, or if you're going to be, applying campaigns and things like that, they need to either be somebody who you have a working relationship with, like a paying client. And, of course, in that case, there's an understanding that that's what you're going to be doing. Maybe you've communicated that to them directly. Or of course, they need to have opted in on your website where they've made a clear decision. I want to receive these types of messages from you. So you can do that manually. But big picture, if you've got like a list of leads, just make sure that if you plan to start sending out broadcasts, like you start blogging and you want to start sending out messages and stuff, just make sure that you're sending out a message first that allows them to say yes or no, or at least to say no, without saying no to you completely. And the way that would be accomplished, and again, we're a little bit far ahead of ourselves here, but the way you would eventually do that is to have an automation where if somebody clicks it, they're basically going to be tagged with some kind of tag that you're going to filter out when you send those emails or apply those campaigns. Because those are the people that were like, I don't want the marketing stuff, but I still want to hear from you. Right. And that allows you to grow your list without having people just opt out of everything, which is something you obviously don't want to do.
Great. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. So glad we could help. All right. Anybody else have questions? If you want to raise your hand, we would be thrilled to work with you and talk through any of the questions that you might have. All right. Let's see, anonymous, I stepped away. Missed the part about getting email from us. Okay, so the answer is yes, you can connect your email address to us if you have an existing email address that you're communicating through for clients. If it is a free email address like Gmail or Yahoo or whatever, highly, highly, highly recommend if you already have a domain name, which if you don't already, we can help you with that. If you already have a domain name, really recommend that you get an email address on that domain name. If you reach out to our team, we can help you get that done. That's going to improve your email deliverability. It looks more professional. Like, make that a goal if you don't have that already, to establish an email address on your domain that you can use to send your emails from AttractWell. And that's going to preserve your ability to land well in the inboxes of all your future people on your list. So definitely set that up. And again, our team is here to help with that. We can set up custom server for you so that, you know, you've got just the optimal circumstances here for list building and getting people receiving what it is that you're sending out there. All right, great questions today, you guys. We're so thrilled that you've chosen to work with us, and we are here to help you. Do make sure that you are, of course, signed up. If you watch this as a replay on YouTube, you can go to attractwell.com/office hours to be notified of these calls, and let us know if there's something that you are looking to learn to do or that you're stuck with and you don't feel like you're finding the resources that might help you with it. You're probably not alone. We'd love to hear from you. Let us know what you're looking for, and we could either point you to it if we've already got a resource, or maybe we'll create something just for you. So let us know, and we look forward to serving you in the future. We'll see you next week, same time. Have a great week, everybody.